Emily was only 26 years old when her life changed forever. She was raising her 5-year-old son, Liam, with the help of her mother. Their life wasn't perfect, but their home was full of love. Every evening, Emily read Liam a bedtime story before kissing him goodnight. Neither of them knew it would be the last normal day they would spend together. One rainy evening, while driving home from work, Emily was involved in a terrible car accident. She suffered severe brain injuries and fell into a deep coma. Doctors did everything they could, but after several days, they gave the family very little hope. Even if she survives, one doctor explained, there is a very small chance that she will ever regain consciousness. Emily's mother refused to give up. Every morning she cared for little Liam, and every afternoon she sat beside her daughter's hospital bed, praying for a miracle. Weeks passed. The emotional and physical exhaustion became too much for her. About a month after Emily's accident, she suffered a massive heart attack. She passed away before help could save her. At only 5 years old, Liam suddenly had no one left to care for him. Child Protective Services placed him in foster care while trying to locate another legal guardian. They searched for relatives, but no one was able to take responsibility for the little boy. Meanwhile, Emily remained unconscious. As the weeks passed with no sign of improvement, doctors believed she would never wake up. Because Liam had no legal guardian and no family able to care for him, his name was added to the adoption registry. No one expected a family to choose him so quickly, but a kind couple who had dreamed for years of becoming parents immediately fell in love with the little boy. The adoption process began. 3 months after the accident, against every medical expectation, Emily opened her eyes. The first words she whispered were, "Where is my son?" No one answered immediately. The silence frightened her more than the accident itself. A social worker gently explained everything. Her mother had passed away. Liam had been placed in foster care. And because doctors believed she would never recover, the legal process for his adoption had already begun. Emily couldn't believe what she was hearing. The moment she was strong enough to leave the hospital, she went from one office to another. She begged for information. She hired lawyers. She filed every request she could. But the answer never changed. "We're sorry." Once an adoption is finalized, the child's identity is protected by law. Emily refused to give up. Years passed. Every birthday, she bought a small present and carefully placed it in a box. Every Christmas, she whispered the same prayer. "Please let my son be safe and happy." Time slowly helped her heal, but it never erased the empty place in her heart. Several years later, Emily met a kind man named David. Before they married, she told him everything. She expected him to leave. Instead, he gently took her hand. "Loving me doesn't mean forgetting Liam," he said. "We'll never stop hoping." Together, they built a beautiful family and were blessed with 2 more children. Emily loved them deeply, but she never stopped loving her first son. David saw that every year, on Liam's birthday, she quietly disappeared into another room to cry. One evening, he sat beside her. "DNA technology has reunited families after decades apart," he said. "Let's try. Even if the chances are small, you deserve to know." Emily agreed. She submitted her DNA sample. Months passed, then years. Nothing. Eventually, she stopped checking her account. She convinced herself that maybe she would never find him. Almost 25 years after the accident, David was checking his emails when one message caught his attention. He opened it. His heart started racing. Without saying a word, he walked into the living room and handed Emily his phone. On the screen were the words, "Close family match found." Emily's hands began to shake. After all those years, there was finally hope. Liam had recently taken a DNA test after his wife became pregnant with their first child. His doctor had recommended learning about his biological family's medical history for the baby's future. He never imagined the test would answer the question he had carried since childhood. Who was his real mother? They exchanged a few messages. Emily told him everything: the accident, the coma, his grandmother's death, the years she spent searching for him. Liam read every message in silence. For almost 30 years, he had believed his mother had abandoned him. Now he finally knew the truth. A week later, they agreed to meet in a quiet park. David drove Emily there, but stayed a respectful distance away. This was a moment only a mother and her son could share. Emily stood beside an old bench, her hands trembling. Then she saw him. Not the little 5-year-old boy she remembered, but a 30-year-old man walking slowly toward her. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Finally, Liam looked into her eyes and quietly asked, "You never stopped looking for me, did you?" Emily gently shook her head. "Not for a single day." Tears filled Liam's eyes. "All my life. I thought you chose to leave me." Emily struggled to speak. "If I could have crossed the world to reach you, I would have, but when I woke up, you were already gone." Liam stepped forward without another word. He wrapped his arms around the mother he had lost 25 years earlier. Some hugs cannot give back the years that were stolen, but they can begin to heal them. That afternoon, Emily introduced Liam to David, the man who had never let her lose hope. She also introduced him to the younger brother and sister he had never known. For the first time in almost 3 decades, their family finally felt complete.